Hi, and welcome to our 2024 wrap up. Today, we're just going to kind of go over the episodes that we've had in 2024, and the topics we discussed, and also some things that have happened, and just kind of go
And a,
over each thing and talk about it, I guess. I don't know.
and a few plans for the future.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, and if you're watching our video, we have Christmas lights for those that are listening. So happy, merry holidays, New Year, whatever,
Yes.
and end of year.
End of year, you made it to 2024 and good
Yeah,
luck on 2025.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I love the little lights.
yeah,
They're
they're
so
so
cute.
cute.
I want to have them all the time.
Uh,
All right,
so
let's see what we have.
we started the
So,
year with you, something that happened to you. We talked about you can talk about it.
oh. So this was Sunny's idea of how to set up this interview, and I like it. I see it now what you were doing. So these are the episodes that we had this year. I'm looking at them and they're not that many. We have slowed down on the podcast. I think it's
No, it's
maybe
still
once a
12
month. So
episodes.
12 episodes.
We
Okay.
just didn't cover the last two, and well, we're not covering this one or the past one, so we're really only covering 10, but we're also not covering two of them because they were interviews. We're just going to talk about those. So really we're
Yes.
covering 8 out of
Oh,
this
that's
one.
why. True. Okay. So in episode 36, it was called Switching Agents. And that's how my year started. What a weird, what an
Yeah.
uneasy way of starting the year. I had already made the decision with towards the end of last year that I think I needed to switch agents. And it was just like finding I don't know, someone that works kind of like you do, or that works with your, finding someone that has a similar way of working.
Similar style of
Whatever
working,
works for
yeah.
you. Yeah, whatever works for you. Because maybe um and like I said, my she was a lovely person, good agent. I didn't have major problems. I just didn't feel like I was progressing. I needed someone that I work very fast, and
Mhm.
it's like, let's go and this and that and that, and I need someone who can match that energy. And
Yeah.
I think I found a person an agent that matches that excitement and that energy, and just like, let's go, let's figure it out. Um, so that was the end of the year was really weird to be in that space where you don't know what's next. It's kind of like being in limbo, or like if someone pulled the rug under from under you. Now, when Tara's when we interviewed Tara, she that
Yeah.
was really that was
Yeah.
really the rug being pulled from under her.
Yeah, she had
I
no planning beforehand. Yeah,
yeah,
at least you got to plan a little.
I got to plan the moving on. Then okay, it's time for me to move on and switch agents or for an
And
agent.
you got to plan your portfolio. You got to get things in order.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to say it was towards November. So yeah, because I couldn't control, I was kind of setting myself up like, okay, at the beginning of the year, you're going to start querying again, and you're going to start interviewing, and you're going to start doing whatever you can to try to get a new agent, right? So,
Hmm.
but I needed to have new stories that I can show the agents, right? So I spent like the last 2 months or so in between the whole Christmas break and all that, just coming up with ideas and developing them into dummies so that I had something to show.
Something new. Yeah.
Right. Um, I want to say no. Okay. I was trying to figure out if any of those ideas that I did during that time, if they have gotten deals. But no, the one that got a deal was one that I had before. Okay. They have gotten submissions though, but that's good.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, yes, and the graphic novel was later on.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what I worked on that Christmas and if it went on to get a deal or not. But it did go to submissions. But anyway, that was kind of like uneasiness of not knowing what's next, where you're at. It's kind of like it's a lot easy to know what your next step is before you start walking, right? But You can't do that with agents. You can't go and start looking for agents until you actually leave your
Yeah.
agent.
Yeah.
So that leaves you in a space of limbo in between. Thank God my mentor and good friend, and he gave me a referral um for the agency I am with, and it has been fantastic. So it shortened the time that I had to be, with an agent, and it was a great match on top of that.
I think
Um,
it's also nice to know someone who has dealt with that agency, so you know how you can get some feedback
yes.
on how they've had on their experiences with that with
And
them.
this is where connections and people and your community is important. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
this was a friendship, a relationship for many years, that this person knows how I work and has seen my work. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm incredibly grateful for the referral. So that worked out amazing. So yes, so ending switching agents, that one was a scary time, but also I'm so glad, like if you feel like you're stuck, if you feel like something's not working, you have to take the leap of faith and just hope that you can find a better way of working. So yeah, if it's not working, finding another way that works, you have to do it. Like getting, if you feel stuck, what's the point of staying stuck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because no matter where you go, at least you're unstuck, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
if you have if a relationship is not working, or if and it's not that it wasn't even working, if you are not if you feel like you're not progressing, then you got to move. You
Yeah.
just it's a business, you got to move, that's it.
Yeah.
um and whether you find the right place to go or not, that's tomorrow's problem. You have to figure that out later. But yeah, if you're stuck, you got to move
Yeah.
in any direction, but move. So that, yeah, so if you are dealing with agent issues, I suggest you go to episode 36 and check that one out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do the next one. That one's all yours.
Yeah. And then the next episode, 37, we talked about authors, being an author, an illustrator, or being both author, illustrator, like choosing one or the other, or choosing to be both, what and the pros and cons of each. And pretty much I was, because initially when I started, I wanted to be an author, illustrator. And then, but then when I took on a job, a full-time job that wasn't related to this, I decided to just focus on one thing rather than trying to use my time as wisely as possible, so that um that I I knew that I wouldn't be able to do author illustrator. Part of it for me was because I'm watching Olga.
I love that
Just
example.
that it, and I'm not saying that illustrators don't have to carry the book after it's published or promote the book after it's published, but the responsibility for the illustrator, it isn't, the promotion and marketing isn't as uh focused on the illustrator. It's more focused on the author, and the author has to go out and do a lot more after the book's published than usually the illustrator does. There are some illustrators who do a lot of marketing and a lot of promotion, but I didn't feel like I would be able to handle that with my, with the current time I have. So yeah.
Yeah, so if you wanted to travel for book events or something, you
Yeah.
you you wouldn't. So you wanted the nice, that I get to draw
The
and then
fun
I'm
but no
out. Yeah.
responsibilities.
That's what you wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it. I can.
Yeah.
I mean, most of our listeners probably are illustrators, and we all
Yeah.
start as illustrators, and almost like the writing comes after, when you realize, hey, I'm telling a story visually. I'm just going to tell it and with
Yeah.
the words as well, and I can, and you can, and absolutely. But yeah, I can see what you're saying. The marketing part of it.
But
Um,
honestly, if I think it would have been fine if I just focused on if I wanted to focus on writing, then just focus on that. Or if I wanted to focus on illustration, just focus on that. But having to do the both of them together, that gives you you're dedicated to that throughout the entire process and
yeah,
then afterwards. So it's a lot more responsibility, I think, than I was
yeah.
ready to do.
You don't have to do any thing. You know, you do what you want to do.
Yeah, true.
If you have an idea and you wanna do it, and you just you do. That's it. But yeah, just because there's a focus on author illustrators and they are getting, picked up a lot, doesn't mean that illustrators are not
Mm-hmm.
getting jobs left and right. That does happen. It's just, yeah. One thing to be said about this whole business is, as an illustrator, you have to wait until the right project falls on the art director's desk and they happen to see your portfolio and they choose you.
True.
It's like, wow, like a lot of stars have to line up.
Yeah, the stars have to
Uh,
align.
yeah, so that you get a
Yeah.
job. But unless, of course, you're a well-known illustrator, then they'll be knocking at your door,
Mm-hmm.
all the time. But yeah, the other way is just that's where you just keep sending portfolios out and waiting. So writing your own stuff is like you're creating your own perfect book for you,
Yeah, true.
to send out. But then it's the same thing. You have to wait until it gets picked up. Unless you're self-publishing, then you're doing it all. You can do that.
Yeah.
All right, that was episode 37. If you are looking at what do I do, which that's a good one to make decisions, and at least to know what to expect in each job. I think it was like switching, like figuring out which hats. I think I remember drawing hats
Yeah, I think
from
so.
that episode.
Yeah.
I love doing the covers. They're my fun. Um, episode 38. Oh, that was all yours. And a
Yeah.
lot of people liked that episode. Episode 38, Think Like a Designer.
Yeah. And I think the whole idea of it, the purpose of it was to help illustrators think ahead before they start doing their work, know ahead of time what designers will be looking for, and how to plan your book, how to plan a cover, how to plan the pages, things to look out for that the book designer might come back to you, say, oh no, this needs to be fixed. Just to plan is if you plan ahead and think ahead, then you'll have less edits when in the future. So
It makes you a better illustrator.
yeah,
Yeah.
especially
And
with books.
team player.
Actually, with anything, like if your art is going to have to go somewhere, it doesn't just sit on your iPad. so you have to
Sometimes.
know. Well, sometimes it does, yeah. But I mean, if you're selling it, or if you're printing it, or if you're putting it on stickers, or if you're putting it in a book, you have to know where that art is going to go, so you know how to create it so that it will be able to be printed or whatever clearly. Yeah.
I thought of something going back to the episode 37, being an illustrator, and you said, looking at my experience with marketing the first book. I don't know if it scared you off or not. I just know that you don't have to do any of the stuff. That you don't have to. I I did because I wanted to, and I still didn't do as much as other authors have done. I mean, others
Yeah.
have. I could not travel that much. Because
Yeah.
it would have been on my own dime to go to these um to go sign copies at a bookstore that was further away. I only did that
Yeah.
if I happened to be going to that city already,
Yeah.
that I would tell the publicist, hey, I'm going to be in the city. You know,
Mm-hmm.
do you want to book a few bookstores for me to go and sign the stock? Um, but doing like traveling to do that is not it doesn't make sense because it's on your dime. You're going to be
Yeah.
spending money to go sign 3 or 4 copies that each store is going to carry. It doesn't move the needle. What does help are school visits. That seems to help out because sometimes they buy a box of books for the school.
Yeah.
So those help out, and then you get paid as well to present as an author.
Hmm.
I am the illustrator for a book that's coming out next year, and I am planning to go to do some visits as the illustrator for the book
Do you know where the
when they
author?
say.
Do you know where the author lives? Not, you don't have to
Not
say it,
here.
but it's
No, not
yeah,
here,
it's not
in another
close. Oh,
state.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and we have discussed this, so I let her
Yeah.
know because it will help. You can talk about what you do as you are
Yeah.
half of that book. You
You
are
can do
half of that book.
podcasts together.
Oh, we can do an episode and bring her over and discuss
Yeah.
that. Oh, that would be
Yeah.
lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, I will contact her. Yeah, yeah, that we just came up with an idea. Let's have a meeting right now. So let's talk about that's a great idea. Yes, I will
Yeah.
contact her and see if she would like to be in the episode. I mean, in the podcast. Yes,
Hmm.
because that is a good perspective of how the author illustrator have we did not discuss anything with this was before the book. She just sent me a thank you for signing up to be on the book, and after the book is let her know I will help with what I can, and because I want the book to be successful also. I mean,
Yeah.
think financially. If the book ends out, I'll get royalties as well.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. The
Yeah.
book is half the illustrator, half the author. It just happens to be that the author gets the first recognition, but your name is on the book as well, and if it's there, I want it to do well.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I hope it didn't scare you or anybody, because believe me, I did not do as much as other people that I know that have done in marketing. um just do what you can and what you want to. So yeah, really, you don't have to be out there if you don't want to be out there. School visits are not as bad as they seem. They're actually kind of fun. All right, going back, I sorry, I skipped. There's a 38 you said,
No, no, it's
think like
fine.
a designer.
We did, I mean, we kind of covered that. Next one was just we had our
Oh,
third year anniversary.
yes. 3 years of this crazy adventure.
Yeah.
Um, I hope we continue. I hope we can find a way to just keep going. Two old ladies talking on like back in my day. Back in my day when we used to have to walk the streets.
You have to travel to New York with your portfolio in a box.
Well, that was not too far. That was not too long
I
ago. That
know.
was when I graduated. But I want I cannot imagine the tools that are going to be available for even they're changing. And I know AI is coming. I know, I see it. I think I saw a commercial. Is it for iPhone? Oh my gosh, for the new Macs,
Hmm.
for the new computers, and they have a thing that already does graphics for you. And I'm like, I remember looking at that and going to my husband, oh, there goes my job. What are
uh,
you gonna do? I mean, I'm
yeah.
sure there's always gonna be room for everybody. I don't think they will totally take over everybody. I don't know. I'm just gonna live for today. So so yes, anniversary. That was fun. that was a
Yeah.
that was like another recap. Um, I promise you are gonna get something out of this episode too. We're not just going over this. We're just listing our illustrators. Folio camp. We
Yeah.
I managed, yes, I managed
It's
to
your
do folio
second
camp for
year.
a second year.
Yeah.
Less people participated this year than the first year, I think. And
Yeah. I'm
I
sorry. I
couldn't
didn't.
participate. Sunny did not participate this
Yeah.
year, and that was terrible.
I'm a terrible friend.
No, I didn't. I couldn't participate either. Did I? Oh,
You
yes, I did.
did,
Yes, I did.
but
Yes, I did.
did you do every week?
I I think I skipped one. I did the
Yeah.
illustration for it, but I don't think I posted like I wasn't constantly posting about it. But yes, hear me out. A lot of my portfolio and a lot of the pieces that like when I get hired for a job and they send you kind of like, hey, we looked at your portfolio, this is what we liked.
Hmm.
A lot of those pieces are from Folio Camp. So if you don't know what it is, I don't remember in which episode we talked about it, but every summer Oh, no, no, no. Sorry. That's Folio Camp was something else, Sunny. Um,
What?
I'm thinking of Summer Folio. You put Folio
Oh,
Camp.
I'm
Is no,
sorry.
that's okay.
So we can
Folio.
start over.
You just made these eyes that when you see the video, you're gonna they're like popped out like a cartoon. I love it.
The
Okay,
reason I did that is because on Instagram you had Folio Camp.
that was
Oh yeah. No, yeah, that was something. You're right. I meant Summer Folio. I'm
yeah, I
sorry.
know because second year, I know.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
All right, you want
You know
to
what? Just leave it
take that
in.
out.
Hey, sorry, we said Folio
Okay.
Camp. We messed up.
All right. So we are trying to do this here. If you are still with us, if you haven't completely like lost patience, we are trying to do as little editing as possible so that we don't create more work for Sunny because I don't do the editing. If if this podcast ever is done just by me, oh, be ready for it. It's gonna be 14 hours of chitty chatty and it's not gonna make any sense. So thank God for Sunny that that's some editing. So in the notes, Sunny had some summer camp. Summer
Mm.
camp was mentorship program that I opened for the summer
And
to
you
give it a
did do
try.
that.
I
Yeah,
did do
but
that.
it wasn't the second
It
year.
yeah, no. So the second year is summer folio, and
Yeah.
every summer I put out a list of prompts and not just prompts, but
Well, like
actually
a
a
whole
brief.
brief. Yeah, it's a whole
Yes.
brief
So
for
it's very
each.
it guides you. It's very specific, but it's at the same time open.
How many
Um,
weeks was it this year? Was it the same number of weeks
no, I
or
did less weeks this year because you
yeah?
said it was too much.
I felt like it was a lot. What is
And
the
it's
first year was what, like four,
seven
10,
seven briefs in
7?
7 weeks. So
Yeah.
this one I did 5 weeks.
Oh yeah, that's better. Even though
Five
I
briefs.
didn't participate.
So Sunny thought they were too much, and then she didn't participate. That's fine. It worked out fine. So it's pretty much a list. It will have a prompt to get you started to think about something, but
Yeah,
it's specific saying these are the specs for it. It's going to be a one page,
yeah,
full color. Try to make sure that you have 3 characters. So
yeah,
it's so that you don't start an illustration with a blank canvas, and you're
yeah.
not doing it alone either because you post and I will go ahead and promote your work, and I don't get anything out of it. Like, don't think there's no money here. It's literally just a way to push you to work in your summer break
Yeah.
if you have one, and to help people revamp their portfolios because I had a hard time when I was working on my portfolio, and just stood there in front of a blank canvas. I'm like, well, what in the world do I put in
No,
my
yeah,
portfolio?
you really need that. It was so helpful.
Oh my
And my
gosh.
one of my favorite pieces came out of that. And
Yeah, which one?
my pirate ship with the
Oh, I
penguin
do
and the
love that.
penguins in
Yes.
the the pirate ship that actually ended up in the at the
I
north.
think that's when the pirates knew they had taken a wrong turn or something like
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah. And I
Uh,
never would have done that. I never would have come up with that if it wasn't for that prompt. So
and nowhere did it say that it has to be a pirate ship. They have to be penguins. They have to be
no.
nothing. So it's just by putting an idea in your mind and then
Yeah.
giving you the specs. It has to be black and white or 3 panels or
Hmm.
something, and then go crazy with your idea. So those are really specific prompts for a kidlit portfolio. It has
Hmm.
narrative in it. Um, it's not just a character posing for the camera
Yeah.
type of
There's a
illustration. Yeah.
story. There's a story
Yes.
there.
Yeah. So I want to continue doing that. It's just in the summer. It keeps me working during the summer and it keeps me coming up with new pieces for my portfolio.
Hmm.
And that so I do plan to continue that. Hopefully you can participate. Um I post them on Instagram mainly. But I think I've started to go into Blue Sky also. But I'm thinking I'm still staying in Instagram, even if it's stealing my stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Episode 40. Oh, that was a good one. Want to take
I'm
that one?
trying to remember where this one came from. I think I remember.
Which
Episode
one? This
40
thing?
was, yeah, the sting of rejection. It's where we talked about rejection. and
I
how?
do remember where it came from
Yeah.
because I kept getting rejections. My
Yeah.
agent sends me, and there's another pass and another pass.
Yeah.
And there was a time that a rejection hurt, like really, really hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fine if it hurts you, but it shouldn't stop you from moving forward. Shouldn't be like, oh, now I have to go and cry for 2 days in my room. No, none of that. You get a rejection, and now when I get a pass, like an email that says, oh, it's a pass, I'm like, okay. And I know that I mean, when you go on submission, it's not just to one person. You're going to several publishing houses, several editors. So it's like, okay, well, that one didn't pass, that one didn't, and that's it. And you keep moving and keep waiting. But while I'm waiting, we're not waiting. I'm
Mm-hmm.
working on another project. I'm working on the next project. And if you keep doing that, trust me, you fall in love with the current project.
Mm-hmm.
Every project that I used to have that I was like, oh my gosh, I love this so much. This one is the best thing I've ever come up with. Give it time. The next one will be exactly the new thing that you fall in love with because you keep creating. So don't, yeah, that's where that episode came from that I told you. That is so weird that this is not stinging as much as it used to in the
Yeah.
beginning. Yeah, so that was a good episode. If you are um, getting no's, either from an agent, from editors, from whatever, go to episode 40. It's got some good advice, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. The next thing we're going to talk about, Illo chat community on Facebook. I'm happy about that one. Want to
Uh,
take it?
I mean, when we first started it, we were a lot more active in it. It's still continued to grow, and it's a small Facebook group, but um, but yeah, it's still a good place to communicate, ask for feedback, get in touch with other illustrators. Um, we have talked about things we'd like to do in the future with it.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
When you say we used to be more active in it, at the beginning when we were forming the community, we would put call outs for if you want a free critique, and we will run a critique.
mhm.
And we will have some submissions, and we would have a critique on Zoom, and it was just very small. What else we would call for critique partners?
Yeah,
It was a community where we tried to get um, listeners to find each other, to make groups, and to not
yeah,
to feel like they're alone. We're not as active in it in the sense of posting all the time, but when we find an opportunity, if we see that there's um for example a pitch party, like picture book pitch party or
yeah.
anything, I always post there and I let them know. If we know of a call out from an art director requesting portfolios or something like that,
Mhm.
um anything that we see out there as an opportunity, we post it, so
Yeah,
it's there. And also there's there have been many times that if someone is working on an illustration and they want feedback, they put it there. If I see it, I jump in, and I always try to help out when I can.
yeah,
um it's it's kind of the community that I wish I would have had, that I had with you, that we did ourselves, just you and
yeah,
I. But I wish it was available when we started working, because I think it's helpful.
yeah. Because
Yeah, it is.
there are Facebook groups on there are illustration Facebook groups already, but there have thousands of people, and I mean they're huge, and
Yeah,
you constantly are getting posts. If you're in them, you constantly are seeing notifications, and there are more people post their work just to get, oh, it's nice, but not. I
yeah,
don't feel like they're really asking for true feedback or
I
true
agree with
critique.
that. Yeah, I do see that in other groups yeah, you're right, that they post and all they want to hear is it's almost like promotion. They're like,
Yeah,
that, oh great, I did this, congratulations, all good. And it's okay to celebrate, that's fine. But we don't have that pretty much in ours. You post there, it's like a critique group. You post there because you want help, and you can literally say, I'm struggling with the color, or
Mm-hmm.
is this coming across good? Is if it's a narration of different panels, I remember like, like, is the story
Clear.
working clear in
Yeah.
these panels?
Yeah.
And you get specific feedback from
Mm-hmm.
artists that are working. This what's nice about it. It's a small community, so it's not 1,000 people telling
Yeah.
you. I don't think it should be green. It should be purple.
Yeah.
Or it just advice is good, feedback is good, not so much that it's going to drive you bananas and you're not going to know which way to go after that. So it's literally just like a critique group. That's what I would describe it as. If you don't have a critique group, that's probably a good place to go, because literally we'll jump in whenever we can, and it's not just us, it's other artists. They give their 2 cents.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there's no advertising there. So
Yeah.
if you are looking for an author, or if you want to promote your portfolio service, your illustration services, it's not going to happen there. This is a community of artists working together. It's like
Mm-hmm.
if we're all working in our desks and we just look up and go like, "Hey, can you take a look at this really quick?" That's the kind of community that's there. So there's no advertising. There is
No
um,
self-promotion.
no self-promotion. I mean, if
Well,
I'm running a workshop or you're running that, we do put that there. And there have been some people that have asked for permission to post something that it will be beneficial to everyone, not because they're
yeah.
selling their wares, but hey, I'm running this workshop, and here it is,
Yeah.
the link if you want. So that has been that too.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, and it's on Facebook, and I know that's very old fashioned, and I used to argue with you about it. I thought it had to be an Instagram. Sunny was right. Facebook, even though it's, what is it, archaic now.
It is. We're not millennials actually. We're Gen
um,
X.
but it
But
does work because it keeps the feed there. It's easier to see. Um, it's easier to see what you're writing, and it all stays together. I don't know. I don't think
mm-hmm.
that would work on Instagram. So yeah, you were right on that.
Yeah. We could have done it on Discord, but we're too old for that. So
But we are too old for this, correct? Yeah, I'm not learning anything new, so it stays on Facebook. So there you go. Happy middle, happy middle ground.
yeah.
Um,
Um,
oh, perfect. Yeah. And the
yeah.
next episode is social media, which is episode 41.
Yeah, that was a good one. That's actually been one of our most popular
Yeah, because it
episodes.
it when
Yeah.
Instagram changed the algorithm, ooh, it it threw everybody for a loop, because
Yeah.
something that you thought you had already figured out how to get eyeballs on your illustration, it just all of a sudden went, like, 3 people would see it and you'll get 3 to 5 likes. And it's not about the likes. I really don't care how many likes or followers I have. I used to care. I used to put value in how many likes an illustration gets, and I used to be very concerned about, the followers. That's just nothing, doesn't
Oh,
matter.
I lost your audio right there. Could you repeat
Oh,
it?
good. It's
Oh.
because I said a bad word and I muted
Oh.
it.
Oh, did you? That's
I said I don't give a damn anymore. So I said it really low.
bad word. I mean, that's like a tame bad word.
It's a tame, but okay.
I think
I
you're
don't
fine.
give a damn anymore.
Oh my
Like, it
goodness.
doesn't matter anymore. The only thing I care about is if the right people see it.
Yeah.
Meaning, are the kidlit postcards being seen by
Yeah.
our directors? Like, I only use it for work. I'm trying to use it to promote my work,
Mm-hmm.
not to be popular, or like, or get fans. Like I told you, like, that's such a weird word,
Yeah.
fans. We're artists trying to get work. That's it. So that's what. So when they changed the algorithm in Instagram, it kind of threw everybody for a loop. And so we covered in episode 41 social media for illustrators.
Because there's so many options now too. It's like
Yeah.
we're not just it used to just be Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Now it's
Yeah. So
everything.
when we did that, there was a mass exodus from Twitter. Um, And Kara came out as a solution. Also, I
Oh,
think we
there's
could
also
also cover
scrubbing,
scrubbing. Yeah.
AI. Yeah.
So back then, I gave it a try. I tried Kara.
Hmm.
I don't know. I put one thing, I created it, and I left it there. There is just so much time that you can
Yeah.
give to social media. It's just,
Yeah.
it cannot be your job. Like, if you're
Yeah.
doing social media as your job, then you are not an illustrator, you are a content creator.
Hmm.
And that's another job. Good for you. That's not what would I do, at least. So I could not keep up with, and it wasn't fun. Like, so I
Yeah.
don't even know. Kara might be doing great. I
I
don't know
don't know.
anything
Yeah, I haven't
about it.
heard.
I
But
didn't post
I
anything
did the
else on it
same. I created an account and then I just,
and
but I
left it.
also think it's about what's most convenient. Convenience is important. If
Hmm.
something is going to be too difficult for you to maintain and to go back to and update, then it's not worth it. You need to have it needs to be easy and simple, and that's why Instagram was so popular. But
Yeah. Um, it went into videos more. So
mhm,
showing videos of your process, and that's fine too. Showing videos of your process is fine. I don't know if that will get your jobs or not. I don't know if there's a lot of art directors that are sitting down watching videos, because that takes time. And so
yeah,
I don't see that as being something that will help you get work, but I don't know. I
but
think
the
Padlet postcard is, yes, it's a must. If you can
yeah,
do it, it takes you a minute. Take one of your good illustrations, put there your website, put your name, and post it with I want to say the hashtag correctly. It's Kidlit Art
art
Postcard.
postcard, yeah.
Yes. And it seems to be the same hashtag in all the other ones, because I do participate in Blue Sky,
Mhm.
and I wanted to talk about Blue
Well,
Sky.
just in case they didn't listen to the episode, I'll just say that Blue Sky was in response. A lot of people going to Blue Sky went left Twitter when it became
Yes.
X. So there was a huge kidlit community there. Still kind of is, but many of them left and went to Blue Sky, and that's why Blue Sky is
Mm.
a good alternative to Twitter.
And I hope that I can have Brian La Rosa come to the episode for we're going to extend an invitation to him, because almost single-handedly he has started the Kidlit community in Blue Sky. At the beginning, you needed, I don't know if you still need, but you need
And it
like a
used to need
code
an
to get in.
invitation. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know
So
if you need that
I don't know,
anymore.
because I haven't had to open a new
I
account.
don't
So
think so because I created an Illo chat
mm,
account and nobody
then there you
invited
go.
it.
Perfect. So at the beginning, when Blue Sky was getting going, you needed an invitation code. So he was gathering as many invitation codes, because people get them, and if you know use them,
Mm-hmm.
he was like, I'll take all your codes, and he was giving them to Kidlit creators. It was like, it's not often that you see someone really trying to build something somewhere else for
Mm-hmm.
a community. So that was lovely. I liked that. So yes, there's a nice community, Kidlit community at Blue Sky.
Mm-hmm.
And you I haven't I figured out most of it. I know how to participate in it. I have a much better grip of Instagram, because we've been doing it for a while. I can do a
Yeah.
story, I can do a post, although Instagram keeps adding crap in there that I don't know what
Yeah.
it is, the notes and this and that, and just like, we don't need any of that. But anyway, I still know how to post on Instagram when I need to.
Yeah.
But by spending some time in Blue Sky, it's not that difficult. But if you look up Brian La Rosa, Debbie Ohai, and Brian Kirby, and there's others, Charlene is as well there. They are super active, super active in this Kidlit community, and they set up things in. So there are these lists. You can just follow their lists already, and then you're following a bunch of Kidlit
Mm-hmm.
creators. Very specific. There's a Kidlit Mega Chat, I think it's called. Um, what's cool about it is like I don't think there's an algorithm there. It shows you what you follow. I mean, you have the
Yeah.
options. You can discover new stuff. You can people that
Yeah.
you follow. Um, so it's not difficult to figure it out. So I just wanted to say here, WI is the SCB, is part of the SCBWI Advisory Council, and Brian Kirby. I'm going to see if I can have all of them in the podcast. I'm going to try to contact them. Brian Kirby is an illustrator, but he also hosts the Kidlit chat over at Blue Sky, and he started the first picture book pitch event at Blue Sky. So eventually, it's not there yet, but eventually I think Blue Sky is going to be the place to go for
Yeah.
Kidlit, at least in a Twitter capacity.
Hmm.
You can post pictures and all that. It allows you all that. So that's what we have on social media. Some things did change from our last episode that when we covered that. Um, I try going to threads, is it?
Threads,
At
yeah,
the
they're
beginning, I was trying, but it's just I don't know. I'm
well,
not
I mean, you
catching it.
can
It's kind of
have
boring.
Instagram automatically post to threads
Yes, and I'm
from
sure mine is
Instagram.
doing that.
And I think, yeah, sometimes it does that. I mean, I think it's already set up that way. You have to turn it off. Just like it'll post to Facebook from
Yes.
Instagram. So I think as long as you create an account, it's already kind of going there. But I'm not active. I can't be active on
No, I don't. Yeah.
all of them.
It's good that it automatically posts in the other ones. It seems like you are on all of these. I'm really literally just Instagram and Blue Sky. Those are the
Mm-hmm.
only ones that I go to. I go to Facebook when I see that I have a notification,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't usually post directly there. It just cross posts over there. But I do go to Facebook to check on our Illo chat community if there's anybody that's requesting to join. It's a private community, so you have to request to join, and then I have to be like, yes. I have
I've
not had to say no.
yeah, I've terrible. I have forgotten to do that for a while.
That's fine. You're busy if I'm
But
handling that. Hey, you're as long as you're still handling the editing for the podcast, I'm okay handling the rest of the
yeah,
stuff. It's just, yeah, I don't mind going in the Illo chat community and giving feedback and stuff like that. I enjoy that very much. Um, but we should try to do something else on
I would
like
like to do
like a
it.
Christmas.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Or, but I would like to do. We talked about doing like a critique
Yeah, like a giveaway
session.
or yes, like a
No,
free
just have
critique.
people
Yeah.
submit. Yeah, and you do critiques just on
And
the spot.
a live critique. Yeah, not they don't have to submit, but I mean they have to submit early so that I can put them in
Yeah,
the screen. But yeah, we'll critique it live,
yeah.
not a pre-planned draw or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we'll do something like that. But by the time this episode goes out, maybe it already happened. Because this will be a
Maybe.
Christmas episode. All right. So here we are. See, we're making
uh,
plans as we are doing this.
these are our plans for the future.
Episode 42. We said how to say yes. That was
Mm.
I really love that episode because gosh, just you have to. You just have to say yes to things if you want them. You can want things, but only you can make them happen. Yeah, and that is just by taking chances.
Yeah. But just especially when you don't think you're ready.
Yes, yeah, that was the whole title is right.
Yeah.
Even if you think that you're not ready. Um, yeah,
Then
because we talked about you're never really going to be ready until you do it.
yeah. And then I had a whole heart to heart at the end about how I don't feel
Oh, I
how I
am
did
so sorry. Yeah, I remember now. Okay, that hurt my heart. Yeah,
how I didn't feel ready.
that was a therapy episode.
Yeah.
But you know what? It was so honest,
Yeah. No, it's good.
and you received a lot of messages that of people that feel the same way, and
Yeah.
a lot of times I don't know, it's like it's really easy to say everything is great and this is a podcast just like it would be like the stuff that you see on Instagram and the it's all I'm not going to say fake because we are trying not to be fake on this.
Yeah.
But I'm wearing sweatpants underneath this and I'm wearing a nice top. Sometimes I don't have shoes on, like, but nobody sees
Oh,
that at
I
the bottom,
never
you
have
know?
shoes on.
And if
Oh.
there's a laundry basket, it's off camera and stuff. So this is very easy to show what's good,
Hmm.
but not often do people talk about what didn't go well, or when you had plans and you failed at something,
Hmm.
or when you feel like you are failing, which was what you talked about. And I was like, it's just all a matter of
Yeah.
switching the way you're thinking about the situation.
Yeah.
So in that episode, yeah, Sunny had a real heart to heart. It was something that I kept feeling it too, but we didn't not talk about it, and it just happened that we talked about it on the podcast, and she was very brave to just leave it on the podcast. And I was like, we can take it off if you need to. There's no problem. We can record again, and she didn't. And it, I think it's brave to say, I don't feel like I've going the right way, or that I've gone to the right way, or I don't know where I'm standing, or I'm treading water and I don't know which way to go, or whatever it is you're feeling. So we all go through stuff like this. Um, and sometimes talking, and this is, I'm not even trying to go into this, it's not mental health thing. This was just a, hey, I'm in this moment. And I feel like this because of the circumstances I'm going through. Um, it's
Yeah.
okay. It's okay to say. We have listeners that are like new moms, or that are, in a
And
stage in their lives where
well,
they're
I mean, a lot
taking
of it for
care.
me was like imposter syndrome because I felt like
Uh-huh.
I didn't fit. Because even with the experience I had, I didn't feel like I fit in the in the in
In
the
the
way I was.
tradition.
Yes, with the traditional market,
Yeah.
and I feel better now, especially after having that talk. But yeah, at the time it was really eating at that. Like I had to get my portfolio perfect. I had to revamp everything. I had to completely erase all the work I did as with self-publishing. Like that was never good enough. You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah,
felt
it was.
I think part of that too though came from because I was cutting off that portion of my
Yeah.
I was cutting all these, I was ending all these things that had been doing with freelance, and I was like, okay, I'm done with that. I want to get, I shouldn't even, do I even acknowledge that those books exist, or do I even, yeah. So it was,
Yeah, you threw away your portfolio with it and
yeah.
everything, and it's like, no, wait a minute. What are you doing?
And
I
like end
think
it
it also
all.
helped that we looked at portfolios and we looked at books that are, let's put this, traditional published,
Hmm.
that you yourself didn't think they were. That you were like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
right? And I'm like, see, it's a style. It does work. It does, like, you just, yeah.
Yeah.
There used to be a huge line, even when we started,
Yeah.
between traditional and self-publishing, but now it has merged.
Yeah.
And even the SCBWI has an entire section for self-publishing.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with self-publishing. You are published. It is about doing it right. Doing it, and right, I mean, do it. If you're putting a product out there, put a product that looks professional, that
Yeah.
looks like it is put together professionally, and you're putting the best product out there. Not
Yeah.
something that you just scrape together in the basement and put some tape over and say,
Yeah.
here you go, it's good to go. Like, you put the
Yeah.
effort into to make it look as polished and professional as you can, because
Yeah.
it's going to be out there in the world. The more professionally it is, the better it's going to do.
Hmm.
And that's it. Just that's the difference now. But yeah, your portfolio was like, okay, but you were doing the same kind of work. Well, it's not like you're putting on a different hat. Well, no, I am sophisticated and I am in traditional publishing. It's like, what is that about? It's
Ah,
like, I need to put my monocle on, right? My nice mustache. It's like,
I don't know.
That's the way I imagine sophistication. You know, you have your monocle and your handlebar
Handlebar
mustache.
mustache
Yeah.
and a trench coat or a
I don't
tie. Do
know,
you have to have
like
a
a
tie?
tuxedo,
Oh,
and you know, you have to be very proper. No, you're just doing the same kind of work. It's just it
yeah.
was a different client, but I do think you turned a page on that. At least I feel like you did. I hope that is
Yeah.
so. When and it's that's the thing. Sometimes say it so that you can so not someone else to tell you, but so that you can be like, you know, like when you
Or
say
so you
something out
can work
loud,
work through it. Yeah.
if you acknowledge the monster under your bed, there's no longer a monster under your bed.
Yeah.
If you're in the middle of the night, have you ever been scared that you put your foot? It's ridiculous. Even at this age, you don't hang your foot over the side of the bed because the boogeyman is gonna grab your toes or kukui. If you acknowledge and you say you're not under the bed, then he's no longer under the bed. You know,
Yeah.
it just seems to be that way.
That's true.
Oh, and you said imposter syndrome. And we had talked. I that did we do an episode? We didn't do an episode this year, but sometime, and if not, we need to cover it. Imposter syndrome. I have a job that I'm working on. I talked to you about this week.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I could not believe that it was happening to me. I had to submit a character design for this job that I got, and the deadline. I I worked pretty fast, so I had it done. It was done. I still had another 7 days before I had to submit it. And well, probably more like 9 days before I had to submit it. And I could have submitted it. And I every time I was like, no, maybe I can do better. And I would close the iPad and I would come back and then come back and open it again. I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. Then I remember because I kept looking at everything on the brief and I was like, well, why didn't they hire that other illustrator? Or is that what they want me to do? Because they sometimes send you like a dream board, right? Of
Yeah,
what they
examples.
imagine
Yeah.
and reference pictures and things like that. And they
Yeah.
sent me a reference picture for the cover. This is for an educational market. And I'm not saying anything that is not, you know, I'm not saying anything specific, but they sent me the cover for the book of that, what this thing is based on, what this project
Hmm.
is going to be based on. And I'm like, why didn't they hire the illustrator that did the cover for that book? Do they want my work to look exactly like that cover? And I doubted myself so many times. It took
Hmm.
me 4 days to get the guts to send it out. I still had plenty of time in my deadline,
Yeah.
but I was like, I had to talk myself into it and say, this is imposter syndrome. They hired you. So what helped me get over it was that in the same brief where they were sending samples of what they imagined or what they wanted and some reference photos and things like that, they also sent what they looked at in my portfolio. So I'm
Yeah.
like, wait, so they saw my portfolio and these
Yeah. They
are the
know your
illustrations.
style.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they presented my portfolio to the client and the client
Yeah.
said yes. And these are the illustrations that they looked at. I'm like, well, that's what I'm giving them. So
Yeah.
it should be okay. I sent it out. And I was like, you know what? Send it and let it be. Then my agent emailed me saying, these are so cute. I'm like, "Oh, okay. Like, if she likes them, it's okay. You self-doubt is just it's gonna creep up. I don't know if it'll ever go away, but being able to talk yourself out of it and just keep moving forward is important.
Yeah.
All right, yes. Oh, we have
You had
interviews,
a
yeah.
couple interviews with Tara J. Hannon and Barry Torgan Randall. Those were good. They they were both, you know what? They're both
They're
graphic
both middle
novels.
grade. I just made the
Yeah,
connection
I
right now
just
too. I'm like,
realized
wait
that.
a minute.
They both had graphic novels. So
Yes. So we only had two interviews this year, and it was a year where we were trying to figure out how to readjust Illo chat with your new job, how often
yeah.
we can meet.
How often can we record? Yeah, like
Yes, because now we don't, we could, before we could record during the week. Now it has
yeah,
to be done on weekends. And
yeah.
So that limit our time and for interviews as well, because now we have to
Mm-hmm.
coordinate on a weekend with whoever we're interviewing as well.
Yeah.
So uh, we, I think we got a good hold of it now. Maybe next year we can do a little bit
Yeah.
interviews. And like I
Which
said, I
is
want to
kind of
change it.
fun, silly that we put that limitation on ourselves because I don't know any, when we did interviews last year, we always recorded on a weekend.
We always ended up on a weekend,
It
right?
was
Okay, there
like,
we
I was
go.
trying to think of it. I'm like, it was, I mean, there was occasionally, I think there was one person we did like on a Friday evening, but it was usually Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. We
That was
never.
for interviews, but for yours and just chit chatting, that we could do at any
Oh, yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. For us, yeah, that's true.
So that
Yeah, no, that's true.
limit
That
that
limits the
ability.
time, yeah, that we can meet. Yeah.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
but we got about once a month that we're doing this. We'll continue that as well.
Hmm.
I'll try to see if I can bring more interviews that are a little more. Um, I want to get some quote unquote gatekeepers, either agents and art directors, and because
Yeah, that'd be
feedback
cool.
is, yeah, feedback would be amazing to hear from them.
Hmm.
All right, so let's talk about plans for this year.
Um,
I started typing this and then I left it and it says I do plan to run.
I know. Are you gonna go? Are you gonna start running? Or wait,
No,
when you
let's
say
make this
run,
clear. If I'm running, you should be running too, because that means I'm running away from something. I don't run. I didn't finish writing it. It says I plan to run summer folio.
oh, okay, that makes more sense.
This episode is a mess. Lovely. It's perfect for end of year. I I'm gonna jump in and I'll give you the last word.
Sure.
I have to go into my website and clean out all the work that is sitting there. I have to update the book section. And I want to do more middle grade. I am writing middle grade, which is a nightmare because I don't know how to write middle grade.
Mm,
It's like it's just like at the beginning of picture books where I didn't know what I was doing. This I don't know what I'm doing in middle grade. So I've joined classes. Um, I am taking like little like workshops. I joined a critique group. I wrote my first draft, which is for no one to see or read because it's terrible. But it's something. I'm starting the work that will require so that maybe 6 years down the road, I can say I wrote my first middle grade. And
mm,
but if you don't start the work now, I won't get to that place. So
yeah.
I plan to work more on the middle grade, and I do want to add to my portfolio more black and whites and middle grade. I need to revamp that whole section. Um, because I think I put so much effort now into the picture book, and that's seems like that ball is rolling well
Hmm.
now, that I think I'm like, okay, now I can juggle this section here that I also want to kind of grow. Um, and I did submit a graphic novel, which was well received, and I'm excited about that. But I want to do more. I want to do another one. That was fun to do. I enjoyed that. It was like a
Hmm.
nice marriage between middle grade and picture books for me, because I can still depend. I have to depend on the drawings a lot, but I can explore bigger storylines.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited about doing more of that. And I will try to continue running um summer folio so that I can, but maybe in summer folio I'll try to do more middle grade as opposed
Mm,
to picture book. Just my brain always goes to picture book first. It's like the happy place.
yeah.
So that's what I got for me plans for this new next year.
Actually, my plans are pretty similar. Yeah, I wanted to work on more middle grade art
Yeah.
so I can, because all mine is pretty old. And so I want to create more new. And I also want to do more panels, like like black and white panels for graphic novels or whatever. Um, and then work on a couple more covers for middle grade because I think I only have like the ones I have are really old. They're not great. I mean they're dated and and then submit my portfolio. That this year
Oh,
I'm gonna start sending it out. I'm gonna
I
do
have a
it.
list you can borrow.
I know. I have the same thing.
The list so good still.
I know.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know what? Add there, send more portfolios. I'm trying to do the portfolio thing
Yeah.
every 6 months.
But
That's twice a year.
I'm
That's
not sending
perfect.
it to agents. I just want to send it to probably, yeah.
Editors. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think that's a good place to start. So yeah, those are my
I like that.
plans.
That sounds good. 2025 is going to be a good year. If not, make it so.
Yeah.
Try. Try
Yeah.
to make it a good year. You can only control what you can control. Make
Yeah.
it make it
Yeah.
the best you can. So with
Yeah.
that, we wrap up 2024.
Yeah.
Um, I hope we get to do many, many more of these, and I hope we can bring you a lot of good interviews in 2025 and more conversations
More chit
and
chat.
more chitty chitty chatties. Bye. Happy New Year.
Bye. Happy New Year. Bye.
Bye.